What's up, guys? Andrew Cooper here. We are continuing our quest to win $1 million. Yes, and the easiest way to do that is via Underdog Best Ball Mania 3 that's now open. Essentially, if you win the first round, you get $1 million. You get in the playoffs and you win the whole thing, they give you $2 million. If you come in second place, you win $1 million. Like, there are multiple ways to become a millionaire in this contest. If you use promo code ALARM now, they'll match up to $100 of your first deposit. Get signed up, start doing these. I've already done a few, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So we already did a video on quarterbacks. Now we're looking at tight ends, right? Just like quarterbacks, we have an article out there on roster composition. Just check my name on the site. You can find it. And we know that you need 2 or 3 quarterbacks or tight ends. That's the best composition, right? So every team's going to have at least 2 tight ends. And we know who the good tight ends are. So I'm not going to waste your time talking about Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. Let's skip right past the top 12 tight ends and start talking about guys that are going in the tight end 2 or even tight end 3 range that can help you win your leagues, right? So for me, I kind of wait a little bit. I take like maybe a Zach Ertz who's going as a back end tight end 1, and then I start focusing on these guys, right? The first one, Hunter Henry. This guy, in the first year with the organization and with a rookie quarterback, he led all tight ends in the league in touchdowns, right? He was a top 2 target on the team. All they did was go out and add, Devontae Parker, a rookie field stretcher. They didn't really add much. If he and Jones get that connection together, take a step forward, he could easily be a top 12 tight end or even a top 5 tight end, right? If he really steps up and gets that many targets, they throw a little more, could be huge. He's going off the board at tight end 17. So pretty safe, easy pick for me to take a guy like that, who I was on him over Jonnu last year because he wins in man-to-man, right? 40% of his targets came versus man-to-man. He can line up out wide at wide receiver. That's the kind of guy I like to get it done. So if you don't go Hunter Henry, the very next guy coming off the board I like as well. Tight end 18, Cole Kmet, right? We've seen guys on these kind of skeleton crew teams that are doing rebuilds get extra targets, maybe targets they wouldn't otherwise earn. We saw Preston Williams get a bunch of targets. We watched Amon-Ra St. Brown get a bunch of targets. Well, the Bears are kind of doing a pseudo bridge year here. They let Allen Robinson leave. They only brought in Byron Pringle, drafted Velus Jones Jr. They really don't have much outside Darnell Mooney. And Cole Kmet is a guy who played about 60% of his snaps in the slot. I don't see why he couldn't be a top target on the team along with Darnell Mooney. And the vast majority of tight ends that end up being top 5, top 6 league winning type guys are top 2 targets on their team. So when I look at some of these ADPs, like, why would I go after Hayden Hurst, who's obviously behind Jamar Chase? He's obviously behind T. Higgins. He's probably behind Tyler Boyd too, when I go after Cole Kmet, who could lead this team in targets or at least be second behind Darnell Mooney. So Cole Kmet, tight end 18, another guy I like. And then obviously to round it out here, got to talk about my guy. Sorry if I've beat this one to death, but I mean, Evan Engram, tight end 26. 26. Tight end 3. Seriously, this guy was a top 5 tight end with Eli Manning. Just a year ago in 2020, he had the 4th most targets of any tight end in the league. He had the 5th most receptions. He had the 8th most yards, but he was tied for 51st in touchdowns because he only scored 1 touchdown. The Giants, in that year, 2020, they were second to last in touchdowns on offense. This past year, they were dead last. There's a real possibility that Daniel Jones just isn't that good, and that Evan Engram is now getting a golden opportunity to show what he can do, right? Not only that, but he went to a team where it's kind of cloudy as to the pecking order, right? Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk. Why can't he be a top target on this team? Why can't he be a guy that garners a ton of targets and uses his 4.4 speed to, break a couple off, make some big chunk plays? At tight end 26, I really don't see where you can go wrong with this pick. I have him in 100% of the Underdog best ball leagues that I'm doing. So I'm not steering anybody wrong. I'm not trying to mess up your leagues. I'm trying to help you win money. I'm doing this. I think you should do it in your leagues. There's no way he finishes worse than tight end 26. I mean, there's only 32 teams. Evan Engram, this is the year. Put up or shut up. Let's do it. All right, guys. Cheers.